I'm going to uncheck my internal order blocks, and that's going to take a lot of these order blocks off of the chart. And so now that we have that unchecked, we're going to also come down here and let me see. So we got additional moving averages that you can add to your chart if you wanted to add like a 9 EMA, 50, things like that, 200, 13, whatever you want to add. You can check these boxes and add additional moving averages. Okay. So now that we have the chart kind of simplified, okay. So then we're also going, let me go back to Wolf Levels Pro, and then I'm going to just clean up my trend lines because I only want to see the most current trend line that's going to be in use. Okay. So now I have my chart set up like this. So this is a skinny version of the Wolf chart, right? So I got less order blocks. I have my VWAP on here. I still have my Wolf trend moving average. And um, we have our 200 on here. So for now, just for this example, I'm going to take off the Wolf trend moving average. And I'll show you where that comes in on how when I trade stuff similar to ORB, I'll show you how I use it. So now we're on Amazon's 5 minute. So when you're setting up a true ORB chart, so a lot of people use the first 5 minute candle, right? So let's look at the first 5 minute candle, which is this candle. And we're going to go and we're going to put a box around this candle because that's our first 5 minute candle. And so we're going to grab it and we're going to drag this over to here, right? All right, so we got our first 5 minute candle. We're going to drag that on across. But the other thing people miss out is getting the pre-market high and low. So then what you want to do is you want to come down here and flip from regular trading hours to extended trading hours. Okay, so this is going to give you your range, right? And so this is very important. You will see as I do these examples why this range is so critical for you to know when you're having a true breakout or when your stock is just simply range bound. And so you can take profit at the top and bottom of the range. So now I'm going to take so what I'm doing here, I'm going to pre-market, and you can tell what the pre-market is because it has this tan looking color. And so this is the highest candle in pre-market. And this one right here, so this right here is intraday on this candle, but this is our highest candle. Our lowest candle. So we can click here, and I'm gonna grab the highest candle here all the way down to the low this candle, which is there. And I'm gonna drag that all the way over to here. All right. So now let me flip back to regular trading hours. And so now I have these two boxes, right? So what I'll do now is I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna fill this 5 minute candle with a different color, maybe like a blue, right? 'Cause I want to differentiate between these two, and I might change this color like to yellow or something, right? All right, so now we got our first 5 minute candle here, and then we got our pre-market high and our pre-market low, right? All right, so now we have these levels on the chart, and so you can see, look at the price action. We broke above this ORB on this 5 minute candle, but look where we stopped at. We came right here. We tapped this intraday resistance, but we were grinding on top and retesting the pre-market highs for the rest of the day, right? So now that you have this range on here, you see how, so we captured VWAP, we captured the 12 EMA, we pushed up, we hit it, but this whole time now we're under the what, 200. So the 12 never got fully above that 200, which showed you that it was going to pull it back down because your moving average never got back on top of the 200. So we pulled down, pushed back up to the top of this box. So if you pay attention to this resistance, look where it rejected at. It didn't hit this intraday, like normal regular trading hour line. It pushed up and it wicked off of what? The pre-market high, right? Came down. We pushed all the way back down and we finally got a retest of VWAP and had confluence with the 5 minute, first 5 minute candle ORB. This was the retest of that box and VWAP. We opened and closed the candle back above VWAP, shot back up, opened and closed back above the 12 EMA, which showed that we recaptured the short-term trend and mounted above this resistance. Now, what's the problem with most people's ORB? They get in, but they don't know where they're going. right? So what's your edge if you know and you have pinpoint accurate support and resistance levels on your chart for you? You know where to actually get out of the trade at, right? You know when you're going to actually have confluence on historical support and resistance when you pull it back and retest something with confluence like the first ORB candle, the 5 minute candle, and you're sitting and testing resistance and I mean support, and you're retesting your VWAP, right? And then so when is the actual trend recaptured? Now we have the 12 EMA and the 200 EMA. We're on top of both of them, and so that's what put Amazon in a better breakout scenario because we actually recaptured the trend, right? So let's look at another example of that same thing. So now let's flip to extended trading hours, right? And we're still going to get that first intraday candle, which is here. Got this right here. Let's take the pre-market high and low. So we got this is the highest candle here. Where is our lowest candle? So this is our lowest candle here. So let's pull this over. And this is our low down here. So we're gonna pull this over and we're gonna capture our pre-market high and low with that box. And then when we flip to intraday, this is our intraday candle there. So let's pull this over and grab another box. And so we get this candle here, pull it over. So this is Apple's range. And when it has a real breakout, I'm talking about a true breakout, not just off of a 5 minute candle, but when it's really finna break out, you will know it if it gets above the pre-market high and it's also above your 200 and your 12 EMA. That's when you know that you're in a serious breakout. So let's go back and flip to regular trading hours since we got the information we needed. Okay, so this box is accurate, right? And so here we have let's see, we need to change the color of this box to blue, pull it across. So now when we come in, we see something pretty cool about this setup in particular is because our 5 minute candle is in a older demand zone. So we already have confluence that's showing us that we have a strong opportunity to bounce because since we filter out our order blocks, we're not dealing with any just regular weaker internal order blocks. We're dealing with the swing order blocks, the same block that Apple popped out of. If you look to the left of your chart and shot all the way up to 218, look what happened over here. We got a retest of these same stronger order blocks, and we shot up from here all the way to what? 218, right? Rinse and repeated the same move. And so now if we zoom in and look at our ORB settings, right? We got our pre-market high and low here, right? So we'll put this back over. Let me flip back and make sure I didn't move them off. All right. So now when we flip back to the regular trading hours, let's see. So we get above our ORB box right here. So we got open and closed candles above it. So we're above what? Our VWAP and our 12 EMA.